This is the P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. Rebranded, updated, and now based on the practice of mindfulness. It is my mission to guide and coach women toward a P.I.N.K lifestyle. Purposeful, intentional, natural, and kind. We'll do this by discussing topics such as image and presence enrichment, integrative self-care, health and wellness, mindful thinking, and spiritual awareness. I am your host, Karen Bannister, and I am a certified image consultant and life coach. My opinions and insights are based on scientific research, personal experiences, and my own intuitive power, and will help your physical representation awaken and represent your inner strength and self-image. You can contact me on my website, KarenKBannister.com, or email pinklifestylepodcast@gmail.com. I invite you to follow and connect with me on social media channels as the P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. This podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and others. Thank you for listening, and your journey toward finding your personal inner power begins now. Welcome back to the P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight we have a wonderful guest, ShaRon Rea. She is a certified family communication and relationship coach and owner of the Whole Family Coaching. She compassionately helps families find solutions to challenges raising teens, could have used you a few years ago, co-parenting after divorce, for grandparents and raising grandchildren, fathers taking on new roles in parenting, and every caregiver focused on raising responsible, self-confident, and happy children. She is also on a serious mission to help make the world a better place. She is founder of the global movement, No Judgment, Just Love, and people around the world are embracing this message and are inspiring others to help to live together with unconditional allowance, one conversation at a time. ShaRon invites you to explore living the no judgment, just love way, which is, and I love this, choosing to move beyond judgments that divide to consciously lead with love in your thoughts, words, and actions. This will genuinely help us relate to each other better. ShaRon, welcome to the P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. The P.I.N.K Lifestyle. I love it.
Purposeful, intentional, natural, and kind.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right?
We're in concert, Karen.
Yes, we are. We were meant to meet, and I can't wait to hear your message. So I would just like to jump in and learn, where you got your training, where you got your start, your inspiration, how you came up with that fabulous title for your movement. I mean, what can you share with us? God, I just want to know everything.
Okay, well, I live, first of all, here in sunny, hot Scottsdale, Arizona. And I've been here for 23 years. I have two daughters, and they're 29 and 23. But I lived in New York for 20 years. I was a lobbyist. I've been a communications director, party planner, all of those things. But when I came to Arizona 20 years ago, I stopped working, and I was a stay-at-home mom.
Nice.
And through that, I just had to be involved in our community. And in Scottsdale, it's not as diverse as New York is. True. And so I sort of was one of the first few Black women that lived here in the town that I live in. Mm-hmm. And at my school with my daughters and in my community, I did a lot. And I hardly ever feel like I'm different, even though some people might look at me different. But once my family started transitioning and into a divorce, I needed to go back to work. And so I did a few things. I worked in my daughter's school for a little bit, and then I worked at the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and then ultimately for an organization from the government here called First Things First. And First Things First is a program that helps mothers and parents that have children from birth to 5 years old understand brain development and how kids grow and what parents should do, like not putting them in front of the TV all day. Hint, hint.
I'm trying to go. Yeah, okay.
And so I loved that job, but it just took up all of my time away from my girls. And because I was becoming a single mom, I wanted to spend time with them, but because they were teenagers, and at teenage time, it's a little challenging. They're not who you think they are because they're becoming someone else.
Oh my gosh, that's so. No, I don't have daughters. I have a son. So a little bit different dynamic, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. So you have to kind of be shifting and changing and have patience. And you don't have patience when your day is full. So I decided to resign from that job. Somehow I got the inspiration because I'd always wanted to try to be an entrepreneur and have my own company, my own boss, my own time. And even though I didn't know how to do any of it, I was just compelled. You know how you have that inkling inside where you just have to do something you can't really explain?
Absolutely.
And at the downturn of the economy in 2008,
oh boy.
At Christmas, I decided, hey, I'm done with this job. I'm going to go out and create my own business.
That is a strong woman right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Strong or crazy, whichever way you want to look at it.
Strong. We're going with strong.
I'll take that. My daughters were like, what? So I decided that through working at First Things First and understanding about parenting and little kids, even though that's not my favorite age, I was going to work with parents. Because what I discovered is parents really overstep who they are. They do everything for their children, their family, their spouse, and they forget about themselves. And somehow we are very diligent at learning how to work our phone. We're very diligent at learning how to work our push-button car. But how to parent your children, somehow we think that's just going to come automatically.
Very true. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided to start a company called The Whole Family Coaching. And my goal was to help parents understand the wholeness. And what I saw as whole is three different things. There is the whole of yourself. Everything begins with you. And we in this country, I can't speak for others, we don't spend a lot of time getting to know ourselves. You know who we are, what excites us, what we're afraid of, what we're sorrowful for, all of those things. And they inform how you parent. You see through those lenses when you're parenting your children. Your children are different. And they need what you have, but they need it in a way that is specific to them, not filtered through your pain. And so
I'm not just like, yeah.
So in not knowing how to have a company, how to be an entrepreneur, people were giving me all this information. You need this, and you have to do this, and make sure you have a tagline. A tagline, what's that? Well, it can't be more than 6 words. Got to be less than. It can't be less than 2 words. Got to describe what you do. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I thought the whole family described it, but maybe not. Sorry, the other 2 parts are whole of. Once you know that you're whole, now you can see your family as whole, and then you can move out from that to our world and be whole. And so that's the whole family's concept. But what happened here in Arizona, as I mentioned, it's kind of still a little bit of cowboy town at that time, and I've been in business for 9 years. And these 4 words, no judgment, just love, divinely popped into my head. And I thought, less than 6, more than 2. And they really, they really resonated with me because I want to coach, that's what I am, from the place of less judgment. So people are willing to be in my presence as I'm attempting to counsel and help them So they're free from judgment of me because, of course, in your head, you're judging yourself all the time.
Right.
So it fit. But I said, I need to know if I can embody these 4 words, because I don't just want them to be 4 words on a page. So at the time in Arizona, in the legislature, and I was a lobbyist when I was in New York, so I'm very interested in government. Woo, are we having some government now, huh?
I don't think we have time for that tonight.
No, we don't. I'm not even going there. I'm going to quit with this story. So in the legislature, I know how to read bills and I know how the process works, but I was raising kids at the time, so I couldn't read the full bill. All I could do was hear the back and forth of, well, we think we shouldn't serve people that are LGBTQ or that are this, and we need to have businesses that are closed. And I was like, whoa, this is, I had a side that I agreed with and a side that I vehemently disagreed with. And I thought, okay, ShaRon, you need to find the value in both sides. Find the reason why you don't have to agree, but you have to acknowledge everyone has value, even people you disagree with. I could not find that in this earthly plane, looking at it from what people say reality.
Right.
I just couldn't. So what I chose to do, and again, this just came to me, was to rise up using what I call my GPS, my greatest personal shift to that higher place of myself, where everyone has value, where I see the wholeness of each person, even if they're not displaying it here on the earthly plane. And from that place, I realized, well, they have to have an opposition to another side, because we live in a dualistic world. We live in so far us and them and you and I. And if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't have the other. So both of them have value. I don't have to agree with either one, but I can see the value, which caused me to say, I can do this. No judgment, just love.
Yeah, that is an amazing and very inspirational route and way that you got there. I mean, to do the inner work and to come up with this, and the realization and the acceptance that both sides have value. Not everybody can see that. I mean, that is very, for me, even it's like, wow, it's so true. It's so simple, but not everybody sees it, and it's so true. And I love hearing that from you.
Thank you, Karen. It is not easy a lot of the time.
It's not easy, but it needs to be, for any kind of communication or compromise, you need to see value in the other side. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And so from there, so the whole family coaching started 9 years ago. I got the idea for No Judgment, Just Love maybe 2 years after that. And then 2 years after that, or 3 or 1, I don't know, 6 years ago is when I started to take this message to the world. Because every day I feel, no matter whether you admit it or not, and I think more women would admit it than men, we are judging ourselves up and down. My hair is this, my body is that, I didn't do this right, I can't do that. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't want to be inside my head with the things I say to myself.
If there's anybody listening right now who can't agree with that statement.
Yes. So the first thing is, the airlines, I believe everyone who's listening and watching has been on an airplane, and they've said, put your oxygen mask on first before you attempt to help other people. And I used to think, that's crazy. I'm a mother. I have to take care of my daughters first.
Right.
If I'm not here, I can't help them. So I have to be here, and I have to be here in a healthy, full-on way so I can help them. And so in order to teach this, to model this, to inspire people to want to live this way, I had to do the work of loving this body that I've been in for decades. And it's doing some wackadoodle things that it didn't do 20 years ago.
Do we have to talk about that? Yeah. Keeping all relate to that on different levels and in different stages of lives. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And so in doing that, and here's the thing that I love to say because it's real for me.
Mm-hmm.
I see everyone as magnificent. You are magnificent, even if you are doing something that is abhorrent, that is unthinkable, unspeakable. You are, at your core, magnificent, and I see that.
I feel like a breath of fresh air.
Thank you. I'm so love life. I love people. And I'm not just blowing smoke up anybody's skirt. I genuinely have become this. There was a before ShaRon who couldn't say any of these words. And then there was an after ShaRon who is still developing.
I firmly believe anybody who's done any kind of personal development or inner work, there is a before and an after. And somebody who knew you before and was not witness to the transformation, they don't recognize the after. And sometimes
no, they don't.
After you, I mean, even
you're right.
Sometimes with the work that I've done, sometimes I look back and go, "Whoa, who was that?" Right?
Exactly. Who was that, and how did she even live on this planet? This is a very comfortable way to live. And I get confirmed so often because it's been 6 years. I deliver this global movement in a number of different ways. I've written a book for children called No Judgment, Just Love. It's a coloring journal book.
Lovely.
And it's in the style of Dr. Seuss, who is my favorite children's author.
Nice.
So all the poems in the book are Dr. Seuss-like.
Fabulous.
And I am now in the process of creating an adult No Judgment, Just Love journal with quotes from me about how to consider living with no judgment, just love. Like one is ask different questions, listen for different answers.
That's lovely. So in your coaching business, do you teach listening? Is that the skill that you teach?
I think listening is the foundation of everything you want to say. Talking is only, and I'm sorry, I can't quote the person, but talking is only repeating what you already know.
Very
when
true.
you listen, you learn. And so, yes, I do teach listening, and I teach listening and communication in a lot of different ways, because you can listen to the words. For instance, if you are a spouse, if you have a partner that you sometimes don't always understand what they're saying, you can listen to their words, but are you listening to their body language? Are you listening to their history? Are you listening to how their day was? Are you listening to what they're not saying?
Very important. Well, okay, so I wish more people understood that, and to hear you say that is very refreshing and affirming, and it's just amazing. Okay, so listening, of course, is clearly one of your tenets of your instruction of part of communications. What else do you focus on to help bring about, working with families and to incorporate the no judgment, just love message into your coaching?
Sometimes we think that words have one meaning and that everybody thinks the word means the same thing that I think it means. If I'm talking about a mouse and I watch you run across the room, I'm like, why is she scared of my thing that's on my computer? I don't understand that. Wow. You're thinking of a mouse on the floor. And so that's a simple explanation of the complexity of our language. I think a long time ago, we were in smaller communities. We had similar circumstances. So words and phrases meant the same thing to more people. Now we have emojis and slang and skip a word and don't matter whether you even say the word. And it just frustrates communication, especially when you're in a difficult transition, like moving through divorce, trying to find your way, raising teenagers. You're trying to talk to someone who's of a different generation, so they have a different value system for how they use their words. So what I do with families, and families are people. So don't forget that. They're made up of people, not Cheetos. So, so in talking to people, helping them understand when they're with whomever they're having challenges with, well, this is what they said, this is what you heard, but this is what they probably meant. And then I confirm. Is that what you meant? Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Maybe that's what you've been saying, but that's not what that person's been hearing.
Okay, so like communication styles, you work on them with their, not listening, but communication styles as well, because I mean, clearly there's a disconnect with couples and families and friends. Like you just said, you say one thing, and you think you're saying it, and someone else hears it a different way. So that's something that you work into your coaching. That's powerful.
Absolutely, because, you know, for instance, I had a client the other night who was saying, I'm so selfish. And they were using the word selfish to imply that they weren't taking care of themselves. And I thought, that's not what that word means to me. And so with no judgment, instead of saying, what are you talking about? That word doesn't mean that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I just said, oh, well, that word means something different to me. Let me share what it means to me and see if that's what you mean, so we can be on the same page. So the combination of really listening to people, not judging whatever they say or do, and giving them the opportunity to consider something different.
Wow. No, that's amazing. I'm sure that's people must find that amazingly useful and helpful.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Okay, so you've got these two, the children's book, the coloring book. I want that because I like the color.
Yay! It's on Amazon. You just go to Amazon.com, and it's only $8.
Oh, come on, you guys! $8. Okay, coloring book. I see a coloring book, so perfect. And then you're gonna
wait, Karen. Let me just say this: there's a surprise with the No Judgment, Just Love coloring book, and there's a surprise with the journal that's coming. Because I have no judgment about the way you color and the way you write, there is a left-handed edition and a right-handed edition.
Oh my, I've never heard that before. Look at you. I've never heard of that before.
Right?
All my left-handed friends and followers, oh my gosh. There's no, holy cow. Okay, so I promise you, we will post links to all these things in the show notes on our social media. You will have, there's no way you can't find this thing. So I will get everything out to you.
Thank you.
I get my own. Okay. So, okay, books, you have your coaching. How else do you spread your word? Do you do speaking? Do you do, what do you, conferences?
I have products like the books, but I also have a magnet. And what I do is I purchase the magnets, and I don't have one in front of me, but they say, everyone is worthy of love. No judgment, just love. And I give them out. Whenever I see people, whenever I feel inspired, but I always give two. One to share and one to spare. And they are refrigerator magnets, so you can put them up there and just be inspired.
Oh, wow.
That's when I can't be there. And when I can be there, I love to speak and present and do workshops. I do a lot of work with middle school. That's one of my favorite ages.
Oh, really? Families. So you're in the minority.
A lot of ways.
Well, that's where they need a lot of help. So I'm very glad that's your favorite age, because that's probably where who needs the most work. They're going through.
Absolutely. And both the children, the teens, the preteens, and the parents. Because like I said, they're becoming, and they're not who you thought they were or who they were. So I love to be invited to places that have a lot of judgment. So last year in October, I got invited to teach for 4 days in the women's prison here in Arizona.
Wow.
And speak about no judgment, just love, and teach them family skills. These were women that were getting ready to be released to go back to their families. So they needed a reorientation to what family life can be like for them, different from what it was before they were incarcerated.
Wow. That's very loving of you.
It just filled these women. Oh my gosh. Here's a quick little. I did it around Halloween, and I've never been in a prison before. I have no idea what that looks like. And so I walk in, and the classroom was decorated with pumpkins and streamers. And I thought, wow. And then when the women came in, their incarcerated garb is orange. They had orange jumpsuit, orange socks, orange shoes, orange hat. Everything was orange. And they made me smile. I said, look at them. They're all decorated for Halloween.
Aww. And I'm sure they enjoyed every minute of you being there, right? Oh my gosh. You know, we women, we just want to make our lives better and the lives of our children better. I mean, that's
exactly. And we want to be seen, Karen. We want to be seen as someone who has value no matter what we're doing or what we did.
That's an important message. It's very true.
Yeah.
Sometimes hard to put into words, but you just that was perfect. It was perfect. So what's next for you and the organization? What do we have to look forward to? What plans do you have?
Well, the journal is coming. I'm in the process of writing it, and the same person who's my friend, who's a phenomenal artist, is working on the cover.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to combine those two with people being able to, because the journal is only going to be $12. So for $20, you and your child, and the child doesn't have to be a little one, it can be your adult child, together can have two ways to really explore for yourself how you can live with less judgment and more allowance for yourself and other people. And so from that, I know that there's a real tangible book coming, but I don't feel like writing it right now.
That's a lot of work.
So I am desiring, so I'm putting this out. I'm a visionary.
Your universe.
And I am desiring, because I believe that our government, and like I said, I've been a lobbyist before, our government is in a transition. And I want to be part of the rebuild.
Wow.
I want to bring no judgment, just love to Congress.
Okay, universe, you heard her. She threw it out there. I think that would be a perfect place for no judgment, just love.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Well, gosh, I can edit here because I know I'm going to screw this up.
No. No judgment, just love, Karen.
I've had all my questions answered. I think I've loved hearing you speak. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to say hi to your audience. I'm always excited when I get invited someplace that I've not been before, to a person that we're just meeting, and to experience your audience. So if they write to you, or they have watched the show or listened to the show, I'd love to hear their comments about No Judgment, Just Love. I'm always looking for stories. You know, does this resonate with you? And you can find more on my website, which is www.njjl.world.
Wonderful. And I will have links to your website and where people can find you on social media. We're going to have everything for you guys. You'll be able to get a hold of her. Please send in your comments. Leave your comments on this episode, whether it be on Apple or Spotify, or wherever you do listen, or even on YouTube. You know, leave your comments, and I will make sure that ShaRon gets them, because you can tell this lovely woman she is on a mission, like I said at the top of the episode, to make the world a better place. And after hearing more about her, I don't see any reason why she won't. I mean, this is powerful. This is inspirational. This is kind of spiritually moving for me. I mean, very, very emotional. I mean, we're very, very in sync, and I do appreciate you and the work that you're doing. You have a new fan in me, so that this is absolutely just fabulous. So again, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I am sure that you have enjoyed ShaRon as much, maybe, I don't know, I don't see how it could be more, but at least as much as I have. And if you have any more questions or comments, again, leave them on the episodes, and you'll be able to get all her social media and contact information will be readily available to you. I wish you a wonderful week, and I wish you every opportunity to develop your own pink lifestyle. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. Again, you can reach me on my website, KarenKBannister.com, or email pinklifestylepodcast@gmail.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and others, and on social channels including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest as P.I.N.K Lifestyle Podcast. Congratulations on starting your journey. Please share this with your friends and family, and focus on creating your own P.I.N.K life. Until next time.